Our next guest is Josh Fox, candidate for Arlington Alderman Position 3. We want to thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you.
A few questions. We're all going to give the candidates the same questions, and we'll get started. So the first question is this. Briefly explain, not really a question, a statement, briefly explain who you are and why you want to run for public office.
Thank you. My name is Joshua Fox. I have 21 years of law enforcement experience with the Shelby County Sheriff's Department. I moved here back in 2003. I have a senior at Arlington High School right now named Belle. She started in the school system in Arlington back in kindergarten, and I have a son who is 5 named Gavin. He is at Donaldson Elementary. So I have a vested, I have an investment here in the town,
Right.
where I want to make sure things, you want to make sure your investment
Okay.
continues on as you found it when you came in.
Okay. So specifically for this office, what qualifications would you have for alderman?
Well, like I said, with the 21 years of law enforcement experience, I would believe public safety would be my strongest that I can bring to the board. I'm a past board member for the town for the Public Safety Committee, and I was also the president of AYS Booster Club back when Belle was at AYS. So
Okay.
I have a lot of investment for the children and stuff like that.
Okay. So what are the most important issues that you feel are facing the mayor and board of aldermen in the next 5 years? And specifically, do you have a plan to address those?
Well, number one would be maintaining department services at above the same level as the town continues to grow in population. Number two would be preparing for and to meet the future challenges of public safety as the base population of the growth continues to go and the likelihood of criminal opportunities. I would address the first one by as our town grows and as development concurs, if it affects and as it does affect the community, I think it would be very important, which I have not seen the town do, is the aldermen and I believe then the mayor should reach out to the communities like we do with Neighborhood Watch. We have like Neighborhood Watch programs where we'll go to the neighborhood and say, what are you having problems with? What do you need help with? And actually sit down and say, look, these are the things that we're building. These are the things that want to come into the community. These are the permits that have been pulled. How would this affect you and your neighborhood and your quality of life? As far as the public safety goes, we have an asset that I hope we don't ever get rid of, and that's the Sheriff's Department being our police department. The money that we save by having the Sheriff's Office and contract their services that we don't have to pay a town is just tremendous. And so I would like to contract or talk to the Sheriff's Department adding more patrols, more officers out here. This would be more visible.
Okay. So in your opinion, what should the relationship between an alderman and the mayor be?
Well, it's basically the same thing as on the national level. You have I look at the alderman as your Congress, and I look at the mayor as the executive branch, the president. Mm-hmm. So they have to have, definitely not the relationship we have now that we see in the United States, but a relationship where they can work together for a common ground and common goals. And the mayor, the way I look at the aldermen is we're the ones that are elected for the people that represent each different communities in each of the different neighborhoods or areas of Arlington. And we're kind of the eyes and ears for the mayor if he can't make it out, to get everybody to give the people's opinions of this is what everybody wants and make sure that all those opinions are on the table. So when you're making decisions, it's a decision across the board so that everybody's being heard. So it needs to be a very great relationship that we can work together.
Okay. So is there anything that does or doesn't exist now in Arlington that you would like to see happen if you're elected?
I wouldn't say if I don't know if it doesn't exist. I know it exists, but I want to make sure, and that is to enforce and support the town growth plan and to put into place methods to prevent social to special interest influence and exemptions and waivers in violation to those growth plans. What I mean is this: there was some controversy in the town about a hotel that was being built, and that there was some zoning done for the hotel, and that a storage unit had to be put in place for that hotel to be built. Well, some changes had to be done against ordinances or change of ordinances so that could be done. There was other things where that hotel was specifically said by different ordinances that we have that the rooms have to be a certain size, where those rooms were changed and made smaller to make it easier for the developer. I want to be, if elected, strict on these policies that we have. If we say that it has to be XYZ, it needs to be XYZ. I don't want to come across that we're trying to do anybody any kind of favors. Not that I'm saying that's what happened, but I want to come back very, very transparent. The other issue that I have right now is we have 6 positions for aldermen. When you had aldermen back, and I can understand this, back when I moved here in 2003, everybody was an at-large position. So right now, I believe our board, except for one, we have one gentleman that lives close to the middle school, but pretty much all the other aldermen live around the town square area. Well, I think it's time that we need to implement those positions to actually represent all of Arlington. We need to have a position for each part of Arlington so each area can be heard, all the citizens can be heard. That way, when you do have developments and stuff like that, each of those people can go straight to that person and say, look, this is the issues I have, so they have that voice on the board. Okay. I think that's important. And then, of course, I'm for term limits. Okay. I think career politicians is something that we have an issue with in the national level, and you can't have an issue with it in a national level and not have an issue with it on a local level. Okay. So. All right.
Well, we want to thank you, Mr. Fox, for joining us. Good luck in the election.
Thank you.
I want to remind everyone that early voting is August the 30th and Election Day is September 19th. So again, thank you, Mr. Fox. Good luck, and we will see you guys with our next candidate.